you have a story, you want a reading, you want me to help you with your life, you have a health problem that you can't put your finger on, and you're like, why is my shoulder constantly in problem? And you want me to read it and you want me to get into it. I'm not that medical expert, but I can tell you where the emotion is attached to it. I think you'll be surprised at how powerful that is. So I would love to hear from you. Go to lisawilliams.com/podcast-guest and we will get you on the show.
Hi everyone. Before we begin, I want to let you know that this podcast is for informational and inspirational purposes only. The advice and insights shared here are based on my personal experiences and expertise, but they are not a substitute for professional, medical, psychological, or business advice. If you are dealing with a specific issue, please consult a qualified expert. And thanks for watching.
Hey everybody, well today's reading is a lady called Anita. She's in Australia. I know nothing about her, as always, but I do know that sitting on that chair over there that you all can't see is somebody, and it's a woman, and I'm not sure who it is, but it feels to me as though it's a woman, but we're just going to see where this reading takes us, because sometimes you never know where life is going to take us. But that is a woman. She feels like a mum, or if she's not mum, she's definitely grandmother, or she's someone who played a mother role to her. So we're about to find out. All right, so let's welcome Anita.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm just going to put my glasses on for a second just to see you. Hi. Oh my God, where are you from?
Yeah, in Queensland on the Sunshine Coast.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So my question to you is, do you want to know everything?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Obviously, if I start giving you information you don't want to know about, let me know. But until then, I'm just going to completely surrender to spirit and give you what I get. So I've just got to share with you, I do have a woman that's coming through. She feels to me as though she's like a mother figure for you, or a motherly energy. And as I place her, let me just get more information, because there's a couple of people that's starting to come through. I feel that this is actually a grandmother, right? Before I was starting, I wasn't sure where I was going with it. But I feel as though this is actually an older lady as a grandmother. And she feels to me as though she's on your mother's side. Did you know your grandmother on your mother's side?
Yes, I did. Yep, until yeah.
Okay. Now, what I'm being shown is, I don't know whether she passed it in her 70s. I'm not sure what the number 76 would mean, but I'm going to give that. What does number 76 mean?
That's my year of birth.
There you go. Okay, because she kept showing me 76, and I was like, okay, she's giving me this. All right. So, all right, interesting. So she's letting me know, and she's talking about you being a bright light. All right. So she's making me aware that you are a bright light. And so there is a real significance here with her. And I do feel that she's the typical grandmother that would want to spoil you, that would want to, do that sort of thing, because she's coming in wanting to make sure that you are spoilt. Okay. Now, she's also making me aware that you may have children of your own. So do you happen to have children of your own as well? Because she's making me aware that you're a great mom as well.
Oh, yes, I have too.
All right. And she's actually showing me that she never got a chance to see that side of you, and that she's actually witnessed you grow up. There's a gentleman that stands with her as well, which I believe to be your grandfather. Now, with this, as I feel here, he's handing me coins. So I'm not sure if you would often get coins or you often see money from him, but he's given me the old, what I consider, now obviously you and I have very similar money, but 50 pence piece is what I keep seeing, the hexagonal one, which, no one else, unless you're in Australia and England, would know. But it's a 50 pence piece is what I'm being shown. But I do feel that your grandfather was one to give coins out or make sure that you had a little bit of pocket money. He's actually got a beautiful sense about him. He's very gentle. There's a gentle way about him. And I almost feel, I don't know, did your grandmother pass before him?
Yes.
Okay, because that's how it feels. It felt as though your grandfather was outlived her. And as I bring him in, he's got this beautiful gentleness about him. Like, I feel that your grandmother's passing softened him a lot. And it also, in a way, it softened him and toughened him up, is what he's just showed me, because he said that was kind of really hard for him, losing someone like that. And do you understand that with your grandmother it was somewhat unexpected, or I feel as though it was a little unexpected? I don't know whether it came as a shock, but he's just shown me there was some unexpectedness about it. Does that make sense?
It probably was a long accumulation. She had emphysema, so it was like a long build-up and then a quick, that's it, sort of a thing.
Right.
So
yeah, because it shows me that it was very unexpected. She's actually, your grandmother's a great, I've got to tell you, such a great energy. The two of them are just they're a united couple, if I can say that. There's just this real united couple. And I do feel that your grandfather has this real gentleness towards her, like classic gentleman with his lady, classic, almost black and white movie, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers kind of moment going on here. And it's actually really beautiful. And I do feel that you learned how to be in relationships with her, because of their relationship. I feel as though that was like the epitome of the relationships that you would look at. Because the two, and I feel as though they didn't always have an easy life as well. They want to actually say to your mom, to be honest with you, that she's doing such a good job. Your mom's had her own challenges. She's had her own ups and downs. And this hasn't always been easy for your mom, if I can say that, because your grandfather especially wants to actually give your mom a lot of love. And it hasn't been particularly easy for her. And I'm feeling like there's been, I don't know whether there's been some difficulties in the family or some fallouts, because I feel as though there's been some not quite getting along in the family environment as well. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, I'm estranged from my mum for a second time in this life, and I also am estranged from two of my siblings.
Okay, because I just kept being shown that there's this real breakup. Okay, so this is actually for you then, not your mom, because I feel like this has become a very toxic environment and very toxic situation, if I can say that. I'm also being shown here that what's happening to me is my throat is going very tight. And that tells me that you may have had some either thyroid or some health issues with regarding your throat. And I'm not sure. Oh, okay. But what I'm also being shown is that this was you being able to speak your truth and being able to be honest with your own opinions. And also, what I'm also being shown is potential stomach issues as well. So you may have had some, like, bowel issues or large intestine, but it feels to me as though there's been just a little bit of gut, IBS, whatever it is, issues there. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, so thyroid, I was diagnosed about 13 plus years ago with an overactive thyroid. So, yeah, because I guess I held it all in because I couldn't. My mum was a school teacher. So, to try and, I guess, speak my truth to a school teacher, it was not, not a good thing.
Your grandfather is actually very proud of you. He's very proud of you for standing your ground, because this was not easy. You understand, this was a very, very difficult situation. Now, I don't feel Dad over there either. So, oh, no, Dad is still with us. Is that right? Dad is still in the living.
No, my dad has passed. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not feeling him right now, but that's not to say he's not here. Let me stay with your grandfather here, because I feel like he's going to give you some insight here. And actually, it's your grandmother that's sharing this with me. She's saying that this has been some massive, massive loss for you. It's been a massive, it's been like a massive situation. And it wasn't an easy circumstance for you to make that decision. They are very proud of you. And it felt to me as though, no blame or shame. It was a feeling of being a scapegoat. So I'm not sure if you felt like you had been an scapegoat, but they want you to know that this was something that they want you to know, that they're aware of.
Thank you.
It's been quite challenging for you because you felt very isolated and quite alone with this. And
Yes.
that's what they're showing me. I've got to share, honestly, I love your grandparents, and they're not judgmental people, are they? They really are not. Now, I will share with you, I do have this gentleman that's starting to step in. I'm wondering if this is your dad. He's quite a strong man. There is a strongness about him, but I've got to say he's also quite sensitive as well. And I do feel that there's a great deal of love for you from this man. He also has quite a very, I think he could hold his own, is what he's showing me. He could be quite a forthright man, a very forthcoming man, very strong, particularly in his opinions, is what he's showing me. But he's actually got this real gentleness about it with you. And I do feel that he would be the kind of guy that would sit there maybe with a beer on a Saturday afternoon and tell you exactly what he thought about everything in life. Like, I don't know why, I just feel like I want to sit with him and just hear his story.
Yeah.
Because he's showing me that he really was quite an opinionated guy. He's also showing me that he always knew the family dynamics wasn't easy for you. All right. So he's letting me know that this family dynamics hasn't always been easy. And this separation between your mum and you and the family, has that been after his passing? Because that's what he's making me aware of, that there was that it happened after the family.
Yeah, it was only recently. Yeah.
Right. Because he's saying that he's so sorry that it's happened. But again, he also tells me that you have had to stand up for yourself. And this is you standing up, being very unapologetic. Okay. That you have, he said, not that you need me to tell you. And so he's saying, not that you need me to tell you, but you, meaning him, but you have stood up in a space of, he said, here's the thing, you're everybody's friend. You're everybody's friend, and people trust you, and you are there for everyone. Okay. But when those boundaries are are pushed, and when those boundaries, that when they're sort of like pushed and there are no boundaries, he said that's when things have to be said, something has to be said. And he's very, very proud of you for stepping in and trusting your instincts and saying what you needed to say. Do you understand that?
Yeah, bless. Thank you.
Yeah, so he wants you to know that he stands by you, all right? Because it was becoming a drain on your energy. It was becoming a drain on your that space. And you know, he's also showing me that your mom, bless her, she's used to going down this pathway of I don't know whether she is that victim mentality, but she does go down that pathway. It becomes very, very hard. And he's showing me that she doesn't often see the other side of the spectrum, the other side of the coin. And he's saying she's not conditioned to do that. He does urge you, and you know, this is all on you. He's saying he does urge you to see that side of her and have compassion and forgiveness in that. But he doesn't necessarily mean that you have to embrace that in your life, if I can say that.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Yes, thanks.
Okay, so this is very important that he shared this as well. He gives me a birthday. I'm not sure if this all happened around a birthday or that there is a significance about a birthday, but he brings me into something happening around a birthday. Does that make any sense with you?
Around my birthday.
I'm not sure whose birthday. Did this all kick off around a birthday or a significant celebration?
So as in my estrangement from my mum.
Yeah.
Yes, we my partner and I decided to sell our family home because the kids have finished school and we're like, we need a change. I probably needed distance from my mother as well to, you know, I've always been the peacekeeper, the people pleaser, and like you said, burnt out. I just needed the change. So we sold our house. She didn't have any input into it, you know, and she was quite upset that we were selling and moving. And she basically just wanted some stamps back. When I took them around, I gave them to her and she said, well, thanks, I'm done with you. So I just had that enough, like, of my own journey to say, well, I love you, Mum, and I wish you nothing but the best. And I turned around and I walked away. Yeah.
That must have been really hard.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's part of the journey.
Well, I always say rejection is God's protection.
Beautiful.
And you know, it's something that I've said to, gosh, thousands of people. Rejection is God's protection, because what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to stay on your own true path, on your
Yes.
own true divine path. Okay, he didn't always believe in this sort of stuff when he was old, when he was in life, because he's like, I feel as though this was a little bit teetering on the edge for him. He didn't quite always trust it. He was more of a logical man. He was more of either someone that would work things out, engineering kind of brain is what he's showing me, very, very logical. And he's showing me numbers. So I'm not sure if he was very good with numbers, but he keeps bringing me into these like data, numbers, fact, all of that. And again, it might just be just how he processes. Okay.
Yeah, he was a hardworking concreter, so I guess he had to do quite a number of mathematical things to, you know, for quotes and estimates and the right amount of concrete. And
Do you have a daughter?
yes, yes.
Okay. He's around your daughter a lot right now. And I don't know whether she's actually started a brand new beginning, or she's starting a new project or something new job, new. And he's
Yes.
been around her a lot. and he's actually just saying that this is big for her. Does she struggle with a little anxiety? Because I'm being shown that she might get a little anxious about this. Okay, thank you.
Yes,
And when I'm
absolutely.
talking about the anxiety, okay, what I'm seeing is I'm being shown her not necessarily needing medication, but I'm seeing certainly maybe supplements or just something, just to breathing techniques, whatever it is. I feel as though sometimes she just has that anxiety about her. But she's a great person. She really is. And your daddy's showing me that she's going to do really, really good things. She's actually the carer of everything. She loves to take care. So I feel her just such a caring, let me take care of, you're going to be fine in your old age because she'll take care of you. She's that kind of woman. Or that kind of girl. And I really love her. Now, you've also got a son, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so as I'm looking at your son, is he the younger one out of the two? No, the older. Sorry,
The older, yes. He's so
he's
caring
the older.
too.
Yeah, I just had to correct myself there, because I said younger and he said older, so I was like, okay, I'm older. But what he's showing me is that he's kind of knows his way. He knows what he wants to do. He knows his way. And your dad's just said you haven't got to worry about him. He's just
Yeah.
going to find his own way. He's going to really make it himself happen. He said, this is not more about you. This is now about you living your life and wanting to live your life in exactly the way that you want it to be. Because actually, I feel as though the health-wise for you, yes, you've had the bit of the thyroid, and I feel like now what you're doing is you're aligning yourself energetically to actually start becoming the stronger person. And I'm being shown that you're starting to step into the true person that you are. You're starting to really say, this is who I am. Listen, unapologetically, this is who I am. And what's interesting about this is your daddy's saying, as you're stepping in this confident person, you're like, I'm Anita, blah, blah, blah. This is what I do. I feel like what you're doing is you're really taking ownership of you. You're taking ownership of what you like, what you don't like, where you want to be, who you want to be with, who you want to hang out with. And I feel like everything is starting to kind of shed away. All of the BS is sort of shedding away. And now you're stepping into saying, listen, this is who I am. And you're starting to really even question, am I in the right job? Am I in the right home? Where do I want to be? The only thing that feels really, really solid is your partner, actually, if I'm honest with you, because your partner feels like super, super, hey, I'm just going to stand here and support you. And I really like this, where everything else is just like falling beside you. You're like, at least I know I've got them. And I feel like your partner is really supportive, really strong with you. And actually on this journey with you, I just feel like the two of you are like, you're like, okay, let's go. Boom. It's like you're two heads together and off you go. And it feels so good, to be fair with you. What's your partner's name?
He's Michael.
Michael. Okay. Because I feel like I really like him. I really like him. You know what?
If he can put up with me.
There's a great relationship with the two of you.
Yes.
Yeah, there really is. You can be a little bit headstrong, all right, which is fine, why not? He's got that, he's again in his head, he likes, but there's also this feeling that he can be a little bit sensitive as well. He has got that sensitive way about him, very deep man, great guy. You have a good diamond there.
Thank you.
You have a diamond there. Now, let me just talk. Have you been thinking about changing your work as well? Because there's something about you're not quite sure where you want to go in your career or what it is that you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I've done a few mediumship courses. So I also do bone therapy, Reiki. Like I've gone away from admin and stepped into the holistic. It's just, I guess, getting that motivation that I'm now on the coast. Everyone's doing it. How can I bring forth and make my mark on the world. Yeah.
I get it. So what actually feels here now is the fact that you are struggling with confidence. This is what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Is because I was like, you're not quite sure what you want to do in this world. And it feels like you've got all of these tools around you. You've got all of your crystals around you. Which one do I pick? And honestly, thank you. I've just been told you don't pick any. I don't think you have to pick one. I think you can pick many. And that's why, and I'm just giving you this with your dad, he's just said you can pick one where you can have a variety. You don't just have to, you can pick one for that thing and one for another thing. You don't have to just decide, I'm going to go here. Now, let me ask you, do you write songs or poetry?
I've just started to not fully embrace that, but I do dabble into whatever gets channeled through. I write it down or I match it to a picture.
I just remember, for some reason, this is going to sound really weird. I just had a vision that the diamonds on my wedding ring had lost. So I don't know whether you do anything. Why am I seeing that? What does that mean to you?
Okay, so I've been engaged since 1995. So my partner gave me the engagement ring, and when my son was in prep, you just automatically put the ring on and off. I never kept it on, and one of my good friends looked at my ring and went, "Oh, where's your diamond? What happened to your ring?" And I looked down, and the diamond had gone because I guess I didn't take care of it. I didn't keep it because it was just set like that. So we had to get a new diamond and get it rub over so it could set in so I wouldn't lose it.
I was like, why am I looking at my ring and making sure that the diamonds stay in it? It was so bizarre. And I was like, and I checked in with Spirit and they went, no, continue with this storefront. And I was like, okay. And then I had to come back to the diamond. I'm like, what is it that I'm seeing here? So
it.
obviously this is them confirming it. Anything you need to share with this? And actually, it's almost as though, yes, whether or not you get married is up to you, okay? Because I'm almost feeling as though it's not even necessary to get married between the two of you. You can carry on living the way that you do, which I feel is so good, and I really like it. Actually, I feel as though actually you're super happy that way.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to have the marriage, but it's actually quite fun, actually, the way that they've just shown me. But I do feel that you doing your work has got something to do with these crystals and a storefront. And you actually, yes, you might do readings, but I'm not sure you doing readings as in I'm a psychic medium is it. I feel as though yours is more in the healing ability and the healing arts and the crystals, because I am so obsessed by this crystal right now. It's like I just want to keep looking at it, and I keep seeing the crystals.
Larima. Larima's I call this my amulet. So I put my amulet on to protect me, guide me. That's when I know I'm in my truth.
Okay, so now you know what I'm talking about with the crystals. So I actually feel as though whether it's the fact that you're going to set up a store, there's something about you and selling, or you and sharing your work with a lot of people. And it's not about you needing to be known. It's more about I'm stepping myself into this because people are going to come to you. People will find you with that work as well. And I do feel, thank you, is it's all intention for your work. It's all very, very intentional, is what I just was told.
What? Because I have been thinking about or drawn to markets, like, a market style, giving that a go. But I was a bit worried with my energies and what I do pick up a lot of energies, and I just need to learn more protection for myself to not pick up.
That's all it is. You're super, super sensitive. And, honestly, I feel as though you can do this so easily, so easily. But and I feel as though it's going to start one way. So you having this storefront market is where I'm seeing you going. And then I also feel that you might morph into a few readings here and there. But I feel very good about what that is. I like that. So obviously I had no idea. I actually really like that for you. I think it's a beautiful, and I feel as though you're going to also be collaborating. And so that feels really good for me, for you. It really does. It feels like a lot of fun. It feels like it's easy. It feels like it's such a unique expression of yourself.
Yeah, I'm thinking of writing like just a simple program, like a starter program, because we've always got to start somewhere. So that's where I'm led to write a starter program, and just to get people on their own. If after the 6 weeks they're not interested, so be it. But if they want to continue, we can. Let's go.
That's exactly right. So you are absolutely on the right track,
Oh,
for
beautiful.
sure.
Oh, thank you.
Health wise, I don't see any major issues for you. I am just going to say keep an eye on the throat, but I feel as though that's going to balance itself out. Um, they are telling you to just watch your tummy for some reason. It doesn't feel major, but I am going to say watch your tummy. It does feel like it's more intestine, large intestine, bowel area. So that's never always the nicest thing to kind of deal with, but I'm just letting, it doesn't feel anything sinister, and I am just going to say that. But this is just, it's an adaptation, it's change, it's just that adapting side to it.
So I am doing some nannying work for some little kids. So it's just a start, just to get some income. Just, like I get to be out in nature with the kids and take them to the park and walks to the beach. I'm not sure if I'm trying to distract myself from the truth in doing this, or I'm just not sure if it's taking away from my energy or contributing to it.
So that's interesting, because how old are the kids?
11-month-old and 2.5-year-old. Yeah. I'm meant to wind down, not wind up.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I feel is I feel as though this nannying is helping you see the innocence of children again. And I feel like you actually need the nannying to a degree to actually get you back into being that childlike space, to be in that child-free caring space, because I feel that what you've become is so wrapped up in the seriousness of life, the serious, the doing, the do, that now you being in the nannying and this innocence is actually really good for you. And I feel that when it ends, when it does end, which at some point it's going to, kids have to grow up and they go to school. But I feel as though when it ends, is that you'll find that now it's going to give you the confidence. I also feel as though this is also going to give you the flexibility and the freedom to do what you want anyway. So it feels like it needs to happen. I really like this for you, actually.
Thank you.
I feel like you're actually learning more through yourself through the nannying than anything else.
Yes, bring out my inner child more and more, because I find I felt my childhood was kind of stubbed out in a way by a controlling influence in my life. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely controlled. So I feel like you doing this is actually giving freedom to you.
That's amazing. And I'm also thinking more so, I've got 2 little mini dachshunds, so we walk a lot along the river. So I get a lot of people say to me that they're very placid and calm. Like, what do you do? Because that's not the dachshund way. And, I do say I'm an energy practitioner, and I really would love to step into animal healing, like, there's not a day goes by that I'm not standing by the water going, can I just give your dog some energy? They've had some grief or anything, and I really love along that side of it as well.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for animal healing, so I would absolutely trust in that and just allow yourself to follow it. Really, truly allow yourself to follow it. So
Thank you. I need more time in the day.
I know. Tell me about it. I know that feeling. I know. Thank you so much for being part of this and sharing your story. It can't have been easy, with what's gone on, but I appreciate you being open enough to come and do this.
Oh no, thank you so much. And you've just nailed everything of, the journey, that the past, leave the past in the past now, and let's journey forward to my truth and my destiny. So thank you so much with all my heart.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So everyone, thank you so much for watching. You never know what's going to happen in a reading, and sometimes you just need that clarity that you're on the right track. And it always helps when your family and loved ones come in. So for me, thank you so much, and I will see you again next time.
Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, the information shared on this podcast is meant to inspire and support you, but it's not a replacement for personalized advice from a qualified professional. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to tune in next time. Until then, take care and keep believing in something better.